For Baba's 100th birthday, a decision was taken to keep Meherabad closed in order to assure, in my understanding, that the Baba lovers in India would not come here and would celebrate Baba's birthday in their home centers, which is what Baba had ordered them to do.
And then Mani said, but what about our center? She says, and I said, our center, Mani? What do you mean by our center? And she said, well, the Mandali and the residents, where are we going to have our birthday celebration? Mani had done a number of plays, a few plays. She had gotten into helping with the plays because she was very good in Baba's time with all that stuff. So she had drafted a few plays or given her ideas or written some of the lines. You know, she was very involved in all that drama with Baba.
She had an idea. She said, we know all about what happens in the world when the avatar comes. Every Advent, it's recorded what happens in the world when the avatar comes. But she said, let's show what happens in the celestial spheres.
And in addition to this, Mani said, you know, all our plays up till now have dealt with things that happen on Earth. She said, but why don't we do a play about things that happen in heaven? And it was such a subtle thing of Mani's.
It was more like the heavens.
It was the heavens, you know, and she was really into that. So she was all excited about it. So then she said, I said, okay, Mani, well, because she usually gave the ideas in those few years before that for where the play was going to go, because she was into that mode. So I said, well, Mani, what do you think we should do with the play? And she said something to me that I couldn't even begin to understand. And she said, but I didn't want to say I didn't know what the heck she was talking about. She said, what we'll do is we won't have any dialogue. Now, number one, that we're lost. No dialogue? You know, this is going to be a play? Well, then where are we going here? And she said, you know, we'll just what did she say? It was like, it won't be a regular play. We're not going to have a play. It's going to be, well, kind of a play. You see, there'll just be, maybe at the beginning, there can be Earth calling out to God, and that would probably be the only dialogue. And then we'd start showing the heavens, and she went into it, and I didn't really understand one thing she said. And I said, okay. You don't say, I don't understand. You know, you go, okay, I'll get there. She says, well, come and tell me tomorrow. So I said, okay. So I went back and I said to Alan, well, this is where this play is going. And Alan and I were a little bit, I mean, he wasn't confused. He was trying to think about it.
But it was
then Debbie.
Then Debbie.
Yeah,
Debbie NORDEEN.
So what happened is we were both kind of, you know, to what extent are we going to do a play that we knew? We'd done really lots of plays for Baba at that time. On his birthday, Mara's birthday, we knew the play thing. But this were a little kind of, where do we go? So we went and asked Debbie NORDEEN, because she had done a lot of kind of singing
well, she had experience in, like, you know, nightclub stuff, like things. She said, this is like a spectacle. She said, it's like Busby Berkeley.
Yeah.
It's a spectacle. It's a visual thing.
Yeah. She got it right up. She goes, oh, that's not difficult. This is just like a spectacle. And
then I thought, Busby Berkeley, of course.
And then we both went, oh, that kind of thing. But then I was still a little bit lost about lines, hello. And Alan was like, oh yeah, he got that. And Debbie said, yeah. So she was really wonderful in helping us with how to do this.
Just a little bit before our trip in 1993, we got a letter from Heather saying, hey, are you guys coming? Are you coming? Because we want to discuss something with you. Mani has something very special planned for Meher Baba's 100th birthday. And then in the letter, she described what the plan was for the amazing spectacle. And she asked if I would have some ideas about the music. And immediately when I read about this amazing presentation, songs started coming through my mind. And I thought, oh, this one, that one, yes, this would be wonderful. So, of course, we were thrilled to be able to go to Meherabad for Baba's 100th birthday.
So then it developed around all the different angels. There are different kinds of angels that some Baba identified, different religions identify them. In the Muslim faith, there's certain ones. In Hinduism, there's the Apsaras, and
the Devas.
And the day of Lok, the Devis and Devas, and the Seraphim and the Cherubim, and all these
angels and archangels.
And all these different kinds of angels of different categories, different levels in those celestial spheres. So I remembered the idea of a cloud ladder, which is one of the symbolic representations of Jacob's ladder, which is descending and ascending to heaven. And in the cloud ladder, you have these half-moon cloud-looking things across the bottom. Then you have a shorter bunch on the next level. Then you have a shorter bunch on the next level. Then you may have one at the top. And that's called the cloud ladder. And I thought, if we could do something like that, where it starts this, and then it gets to the next level, and it's more refined, and it's this, and then it's more refined, and it's this, and so on and so forth. So that was where we started. It really started to take off.
Well, after the pilgrims departed from the Pilgrim Center, we had essentially 9 days to set up everything and be prepared for this spectacle that Bunny wanted to do. So I believe it was a 7-tiered set of platforms that we had to set up there. That was all done on the east half of what is now the meeting room, was then the dining hall of the Pilgrim Center. And all these stages of clouds had to be decorated. So we took sheets of thin plywood, and Catherine Cox drew out the shapes that she wanted us to cut. We cut all of those and set these things up. She painted everything and prepared the sets. In the specific planes, or whatever you call them, layers of the tier, there were particular people assigned to play particular roles. And at the one that was next to the top, I believe it was, were the archangels.
I was an archangel.
And Ward and Ted were on each side, and part of their performance was that they had to hit these gongs or chimes.
To go with one of the songs.
That we had to make. So we thought, well, we'll make these out of metal pipes. They'll make chimes. On the day that Hughie MacDonald and I decided to attempt to make these, we went to the storeroom, and picked up a random piece of pipe that wasn't too dirty. And it was maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inches thick. I don't remember which. And I asked Hughie, how do you want to do this? How do we do this? He said, I don't know. Let's just try it. So we just put it in a vise, and I cut off a length of it. And we drilled a hole through it so we could hang it. We struck it. And Hughie, with his electronic device, measured the pitch. And Hughie, in his way, said, it seems to be perfect pitch. I don't understand it. There are a few aftertones here or there, but it seems to be right on.
The pitch of the song.
Okay, well, let's try it again for the other side. Again, we took another different size pipe. Had to be a different pitch for the other chime. Did the same procedure. Cut it once, and it was the right pitch. And it seemed to be very odd, but I remember how Money used to remark about these things. She would say, this is Baba's signature. And it showed us that everything, he wanted it so everything was happening without problems.
We decided that we're going to have this Hallelujah chorus but the words were slightly changed to, instead of Hallelujah, Meherabad, or whatever, however it goes, we put a little Meherabad into it. And so we sang along with the professional choir, and then I recorded that, and then we sang along to the recording of that. So we had our own singers twice. We have the Mormon Tabernacle, whoever it was, in there once, and then we had them singing out loudly live at the same time. When Baba appeared out of the sky, then we declared Hallelujah, and it was really glorious.
I got the impression it was really an idea that Mani was taken with, or Mani really, really wanted to do. It's a very Mani kind of idea in a way. Very simple. There weren't characters. It was an impression of like the cosmic spectacle of the avatar descending into human form. So it was quite inspiring in that way.
Everybody was pouring their effort into this. Janet did most of the costumes.
Yeah, and Amrit did all the jewelry.
The jewelry, right?
Yeah.
And hair and stuff. And it was totally an extravaganza. I mean, it was like right out of Busby Berkeley. I mean, you had fabulous costumes, the sets that Ted built with the scaffoldings he had from buildings and stuff in the end of the dining hall, the kitchen end of the dining hall, and people sat on the other side.
Yeah.
And, you know, we worked on building that. So we really couldn't rehearse on it until it was there.
So we had 2 trustees at the time, and trustees also have a lot of responsibility for the money. And because Money was so into it, and Erich enjoyed the whole idea, but he wasn't into play stuff, but he was fine, and the Mandali were into it. Because of that, they were fine with it. I mean, they were, we'll go
along.
But I remember Jimmy Mistry said to me, all this expenditure for something that's going to take 15 minutes? You know, it was like, but at the end of the whole thing, I have to admit, he came up to me and he said, Heather, I made that comment about the 15 minutes. He says, but I was wrong. It was worth it.
Welcome all of you to our celebration of beloved Avatar Meherabad's 100th birthday. For our program today, we have 4 items. First, we have a spectacle that was created by Mani. Then we're going to have a slideshow, slides of Baba. Following that, we'll have some songs, and then we'll have lunch. So let's all sit back and enjoy his presence in his home on his birthday.
Beloved God, merciful one, hear my cry. Your earth is calling out to you. See my plight. I am parched and barren to the core, weighed down with the suffering of humanity. It has been too long since you came to earth. The burden of man's ignorance grows so heavy. The anger, the greed, the confusion, the chaos, they're overwhelming me. I cannot bear it. You are called the merciful one. Have mercy on me. Redeem your promise to save me. Come to earth, beloved. It is time. Come! Come. Come.
by his residents and his lovers here. It's touched us very, very much. And so we said, beloved,
what I remember most is that Mani was pleased. Mani came at the end to let us know how happy she was. It was obvious. I mean, her face was beaming. And it was such a special joy for us to see that. And also a reminder that it's really worthwhile to strive to please Baba.
And this pageant, which she designed, called The Spectacle, was her creation. It was totally Mani's creation. And though the implementation of it required many hearts, many hands, lots of cooperation and coordination, and it was, I remember it was just a lot of fun. It was really fun. We had rehearsals, we had singing. The costumes were fabulous. The best part, I suppose, was that I was able to be in a production of Mani's. Like, it reminded me of the early days when Mani would create skits and musical productions and recruit members of the Mandali, the Western Mandali, the Eastern Mandali, especially the women, that she would get them to dress in costumes and perform for her godbrother, Meher Baba. So to me it was a big thrill because of that. It was Mani's production and it was The Spectacle.
Well, at the end of The Spectacle, I remember how beautiful Mani looked. She was wearing a white dress and just came falling from the heavens at the very end, at the climax of it all. And Mani was right in the first row, so she got drenched with it, and it was in her hair, and she was wearing this white dress, and she just looked so radiant and so beautiful. And to me that kind of epitomizes the whole event, because it was all born out of her desire for something that fit her personality, sparkly and entertaining and beautiful and creative and playful, and she had this wonderful child spirit.
Mani was the playwright. She was the one, all the skits, all the quick little things they did, all the things that they did over time. She would write these scripts and direct these things and put them together. She was really the representative of the world of the arts as performance in the ashram, right?
Definitely, definitely.
With Baba, definitely.
Definitely.
So to have her, to please her in that world for him was a great thing.
We're going to introduce everybody. Here we have Peter, Nordeen, Adela, Steve Margo, Nora. You got Peter?
Yeah, I love it.
Of course, Debbie.
And the little
And Debbie, I'll get out of the way. You could recognize me.
I think so.
Get my wings. And another angel. And here are our cherubs, Darshan and Adine. And Jeannie. Did you recognize Jeannie as a And we have Murray, of course. Murray from heaven. Janet and Daisy. Elaine. This is Elaine, believe it or not.
Charlotte.
Charlotte, she's part of the singing. She's a singer. Oh, this is Becky. Another Murray. And she's not a doctor. She's an officer. She's been telling us that.
I do that.
Of course, more. And the husband is very well.
Oh, wow.
And here's Anna, another baby. Jack, one of our singers. And Ted, another artist.
Ted, water.
Oh, there's Bobby.
Today, Ted, I dug a real water. Where's Alan?
In the costumes under Janet's direction, helpers were Christy Pearson. We had Amrit, Gwendolyn, Elaine, who was the wing maker, Anna, Becky,
And the costumes are so
Kitty and Judy. Judy's the set
many costumes.
everybody did different bits, everybody.
And the clouds and all that.
Catherine, the sets for Catherine, and Gus, and Pat.
And Ted made the construction safe for you all to climb.
That's right.
Somebody else, I would have climbed out.
Chris Pearson and Peter Meredith, and Meredith did the baby. Meredith did the baby and all the props and the pedals and all that. All the baby was Meredith.
Wow. What is she?
Hughie did the sound, Hughie and Manish.
When the baby came down, we couldn't help being emotional. I remember crying, open the car. It's a joyous occasion.
Jewelry was Gwendolyn and Becky and Anna and Rich. Judy did the makeup. Judy and Kim. She's in the back.
And who did the costumes?
And Elaine did all the wings.
Wow.
And helpers. And there was Biff. And Peter Booth. Peter and Casey did the slides with money. Casey made them. And Peter showed them and did a lot of other things. And Biff also. And Chris Pearson. I don't think you can leave anybody out on this property who got away. We got them all.
And the costumes and the crown and the wave are so beautiful, so right. It's never heavy. Never, look at that. It's very, very pretty. It's befitting the avatar. Beloved avatar.
I'm going to sing. I think we should turn off the spot. And maybe house lights us a little. What do you think?
Just bring the lights on.
Okay. We're going to start off our singing program with a favorite song of all of us, and that Monty specially requested today, in tribute to the avatars of the past and the avatar come again. Ustad Dhanyavad.
This song is by Jenny Moore, and it simply means thank you for coming to the avatar. Ustad Dhanyavad, 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 Ustad Dhanyavad. Oh, may Dhanyavad, 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 oh, may Dhanyavad, Dhanyavad, Krishna Dhanyavad, Krishna Dhanyavad, oh may Jesus, Tanyaba, Jesus, Tanyaba, Jesus, Tanyaba. Oh, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher. Oh, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher. Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba, Muhammad Tanyaba. Oh, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher, Tanyaba, Meher.
Okay, is our orchestra ready? Okay, orchestra, hit it.